if you desire the day of the Lord? Whoa, 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 whoa. How you gonna survive the day of the Lord? Whoa.
Without any further ado, the name of the lesson is called The Legions. The Legions Are Coming. Be prepared. The legions are coming. Be prepared. The commentary reads, there are many headlines out there, but not many are as alarming as the ones that has surfaced in the advancement of robot technology. There's a certain serious push for more and more advancement in robot technology, and what more concerning is the strange upgrades that these robots are receiving. What are they preparing for? They are preparing to engage the people once the mark of the beast is implemented, right? Are they doing that? Okay, we understand, and we at the epic of the what? Apex of Jacob's troubles. And right before righteousness, right? He said, and before the righteousness received the kingdom, and now these things are being pushed onto population. Could they be invented to bring forth what was happening once again in 70 AD? If you all understand what happened in 70 AD, that's when they started building the walls and everything around Masada and going against the children of Israel. They say, we will examine the matter today and further look into the end game of these things to determine what is the real purpose of these inventions. We're going to read a website. Please write this website down. Go ahead, bro.
This is from RT or RussianTimes.com, www.rt.com. The name of the article is called Blind Robot Dog Can Jump, Blind Robot Dog Can Run, Jump, and Climb in MIT's Vision of the Future.
A blind robot dog. Go ahead.
I didn't know a robot had eyes.
Right.
All right. Again, the name of the article is called Blind Robot Can Run, Jump, and Climb in MIT's Vision of the Future. And it reads, footage of the experiment shows researchers from Massachusetts Institute of Technology putting the Labrador-sized mechanical beast through its paces, making it run on a treadmill and climb cluttered steps while being periodically pulled sharply from behind a leash. The four-legged robot was tested without cameras or any external sensors, making the machine essentially blind. Designer Sang-Bae Kim believes such experiments are essential to finding out what the robot is capable of without relying too much on vision.
So they're making robots that have no need for eyes in the event that you attempt to take out one of their cameras in its defense. It wouldn't matter because of one of these new features. Keep in mind that these same things invented eventually will end up as weapons used by the military. Who do you think is funding these projects, though? That's probably you. Who do you think is funding these projects? We're going to read another website and let you know.
All right, so this is from the same website, rt.com. Again, www.rt, which is the Russian Times.com. And the name of this article is called Buy Your Future Overlord. Creepy robot dog, spot mini, up for sale soon. Again, the name of the article is called Buy Your Future Overlord. Creepy robot dog, spot mini, up for sale soon. All right, and the article reads, while an uber quiet door-opening robot roaming around your home may not be the most comforting idea, the bot only has a battery life of about 90 minutes after charging, and it weighs about 66 pounds. So in case of a machine uprising, you can probably just wait it out in the tree as long as it hasn't as long as it hasn't learned how to climb them yet. There's no word yet on what the pup will cost, but the company claims their latest prototype costs 10 times less to build than its previous version.
The media likes to make little jokes in order for us to let our guards down about serious topics that they're trying to put right in our face. So they putting in here in your face what they're trying to do, and it's against you, but they making it fun and funny, like it's just, it ain't really it's not that serious. Don't even worry about it, John. And say these robots will be used to attack people, but first they must make them acceptable by society, so they're in every household in some way, shape, or form, just like the mark of the beast. Just think about it. If they sit up here and they got something, some kind of technology thing, or you getting a little robots, or you getting a little dog or something like that, you lock the door. We ain't going out. Don't worry. They ain't got to come out. We already in their house. Take over that little funny animal that they had in there, that they didn't know had weapons in it or something. This is where we going now. But if everybody, if everybody accepted, well, they're just looking like, well, you ain't got one? Oh, I got one. Oh, let's get one. It's just like they do, let's say, Alexa. Let's say Alexa, just like they do with Alexa, or they do with that when you go in and you click it and it tells you everything. It gives you this information that's inside your home. So we know that can be used that can be two ways. It can hear you, and then they can hear you. Okay? So if it's anything, don't think that you're going to sit there and have a plan and be sitting there talking right there and Alexa ain't listening to you. But they're going to make it like it's exciting and different things like that. Let's go to Ephesians 6 and 9.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 10. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verses 10 down to 17. All right, Ephesians 6 and 10 reads, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Verse 3. "Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High."
There are principalities giving mankind these ideas to invent certain things that are against the Most High's creation. These spirits look to roam the earthly, physical, and are being released from hell under projects such as CERN. And we was talking about that yesterday, sis? Projects such as CERN. The word CERN comes from the god, what is that? Cernos, which is the god of the underworld in Celtic religion. The god is no other than who? Satan himself. So that's what that CERN is. And this is why it's important for us to get into our houses, brothers and sisters. This is why it's important for them to get into our houses, brothers and sisters, because they understand that this is a spiritual war, right? So what they got to do is do what? What you think they're going to do first? Play on your feelings. Play on your emotions. Make you think something is good for you. Something is all right for you. This is what I need. I can't live without this. And then they got you, con. We got to understand what these things are happening. Now, we know them demons are turning up, right? We know a majority of them are loose now, right? And it's a spiritual war. We got to remember that. We got to keep strong. That's that armor. Let's go to Revelations 9 and 1. Revelation 9 and 1. Let's talk about CERN. These spirits being released.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 starting at verse 1, reading down to verse 11.
It's Revelation.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9, verses 1 through 11. All right, verse 1 reads, "And the fifth angel sounded, and saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men who have not the seal of Ahia in their foreheads." Verse 5, "And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them." Verse 7, "And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared for battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, and it as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings as was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months."
What was their power to do what?
Okay. Verse 11, "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon."
Y'all, these spirits being released into the earth are evil spirits, punishment which torment wicked men when they die. John was seeing this in a vision. But let's look at another source so we can get this understanding of this. We're going to go into the Apocalypse of Paul to understand this a little further more, all right? We're going to read out of the Apocalypse of Paul, chapter 1, verse 11. Go ahead.
This is the Apocalypse of Paul, chapter 1, verse 11, for those who want to write it down. This is the Apocalypse of Paul, chapter 1, and verse 11. Okay? All right, 1 and 11 reads, "And I went after the angel, and he took me into heaven. And I looked upon the firmament, and saw there the powers, and there was forgetfulness, which deceiveth and draweth unto itself the hearts of men, and the spirit of slander, and the spirit of fornication, and the spirit of wrath, and the spirit of insolence. And there were the princes of wickedness. These things saw I beneath the firmament of the heaven. And again I looked and saw angels without mercy, having no pity, whose countenances were full of fury, and their teeth sticking forth out of their mouth, their eyes shone like the morning star of the cast. And out of their hairs of their head, and out of their mouth went forth sparks of fire. And I asked the angel, saying, Who are these, Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are they which are appointed unto the souls of sinners in the hour of necessity. Even of them they have not believed that they had the Lord for their helper, and they had not trusted in him." Okay?
I went.
And then, okay, to continue on, "I went with the angel of the Lord and looked before me and saw a place, though through which passed thousands and thousands and myriads of angels, whose faces were of panthers. Okay, so these faces look like panthers. And their teeth stuck forth out of their mouth, and their eyes were bloodshot, and their hair loose like women's hair, and burning scourges were in their hands. I feared and asked, who are these? The angel answered, these are the ministers of the whole creation, which come unto the souls of the ungodly, and take them and lay them down here. They fly 3 days with them in the air before they take them and cast them into their everlasting torment.
These spirits, once released into our realm, will need different forms of bodies to operate in permanently. They will torture the wicked. These governments fund projects, and they are supporting the future efforts for these spirits to stomp out the children of Israel and anyone who don't want to comply with taking that mark. They show us in all these different movies and everything. They ain't gonna just let you go. That means that you're not bowing down to their God. It's the same thing as Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, huh? When they refuse to bow down. When you refuse to take that chip, they're gonna come right after us. And just think about it. It's gonna be so much turmoil that they know certain human beings ain't gonna be able to perform these things. So what they gonna do? Use this technology. These demons, those spirits, going to enter into that technology and use that to fight against us. Let's go to Revelation 11:1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verses 1 through 8. All right, the book of Revelation, chapter 11, starting at verse 1. Reading down to verse 8. All right. Revelation 11:1 reads, and there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, rise, and measure the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the Most High of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. Verse 6. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the breast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
What did Egypt do to us? They worked us and worked us and worked us, didn't they? What happened in Sodom? Homosexuality and everything was running rampant, huh?
All kind of
both of them things together is what? Good old United States of America. They say after prophesying in America is finished, Satan along with his legion of demons will be allowed to destroy the inhabitants in various ways. Outside of armies and all manners of weaponry also will come with these satanic efforts. And guess what, y'all? Those 2 witnesses that the beast will go after, they're not Moses and Elijah. Like the Christian church and stuff be trying to tell you. They're not Moses and they're not Elijah. Let's go to Isaiah 43:1. see who these witnesses are. Isaiah 43 and 1 through 10. Because you got to remember, it say these olive trees, huh? It also said what? These two candlesticks, huh? Let's get it out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 1 through 10. The book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verses 1 through 10. All right, verse 1 reads, "But now, thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee, and I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine."
You hear that? So he said who first? O Jacob. Then he said, O who? Israel. When you read in the Old Testament, when it refers to Jacob, who is it referring to? The southern kingdoms. When it refers to Israel, what's that referring to? The northern kingdoms. Okay? Let's get it.
Verse 2, "When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Sheba for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee, and people for thy life." Verse 5, "Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east, and gather thee from the west."
So he tells us to what? Fear not. My brother, through the Spirit of the Most High last night, brought a beautiful lesson for us. And it had to do with fear, huh? We ain't seen fears. We ain't seen nothing to fear yet, huh? Think about it when you see these things that's happening, devouring people, destroying people. Will you try to lean to your own understanding and run out, or will you stand there and fear not and do what thus saith the Lord, so you can be saved, huh? Keep on reading, bro.
Verse 5 reads, "Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. And everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witness, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say, it is truth. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord."
Who is his witnesses? You are my witnesses, thus saith the Lord. Go ahead.
"And my servant, who I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me."
Con. Now we're going to go to Isaiah 44 and 5. Isaiah 44 and 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44, starting at verse 5 down to verse 8. The book of Isaiah, chapter 44, starting at verse 5, reading down to verse 8. All right, Isaiah 44 and 5 reads, "One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel." Verse 6, "Thus saith the Lord, King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. And who, as I, shall call and shall declare it, and set it in order for me, since I appointed the ancient people. And the things that are coming and shall come, let them show unto them. Fear ye not, be neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses.
We are what? His witnesses. There we go again. So those witnesses, and Revelation is talking about who? The children of Israel. Go ahead.
All right. Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God. I know not any.
So after the true witnesses, the children of Israel, finish prophesying, the devil will be allowed to destroy on a high level, even more greater than we've seen in 70 AD. So remember when we said, scriptures and verses that you all should know, and we went and we said Isaiah 49:5, saying that he formed us in the womb, telling us that we are his what? We are his servants. We are what? We are his witnesses. What did it say? It say after the true witnesses are finished prophesying. So what we doing now when we waking up Jacob, when we going out there prophesying, and not even, it's more than letting the brothers and sisters again know that they're Israelites. That's not what we're prophesying. We're letting them know that they are the children of Israel, and it's time to them to come back to the Father the proper way, to follow those laws and those commandments, to leave these ways alone. And see, a lot of people miss that. They just think, oh, we the children, and we just know. You have to change your mind. You have to kill that old man all the way. That's that gospel, that we have a chance. So this is what we're supposed to be doing. After we're doing that, then what? When it's a time, like he said, it's appointed time for everything. So don't think for a minute, brothers and sisters, that we have that much time. Do not get too comfortable. We're reading, and all praise to the Most High. The elders, the Spirit used the elders, to bring this lesson out for you all to see that they are making these robots and everything right now. For what? For us to what? To war against us. They see everywhere you look, the children of Israel are rising. They can't stop it. Everybody's starting to know that they're the children of Israel and what they're supposed to be doing in the Most High. So what we bringing these articles out for is to show you all that they're just like we're building our army. They're out there building their army as well. And they trying to take out as many of us through the Spirit as possible. It says then when we finish prophesying, Satan will be allowed to destroy on a high, greater level than 70 AD. If you do not know what we're talking about, when we're talking about 70 AD, it's a book out there called Josephus. Please read and see the antiquities of the Jews and the things that happened to those Hebrews in 70 AD. Once you start reading that, man, it'll bring tears to your eyes. When you see how they destroyed us, it says something worse is coming. It say even though this will come to pass, the Most High is telling the righteous, don't fear. If you follow these commandments, if you being obedient, don't fear none of that. It's pretty much saying, if you do what I got to do, if I do what I tell you, if you do what I tell you to do, don't none of this apply to you. That's all it is. Be obedient, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Psalms 18 and 27.
All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 18, verses 27 down to 38. The book of Psalms, chapter 18, starting at verse 27 down to 38. All right. 18 and 27 reads, For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. For thou wilt light my candle, the Lord my God will enlighten my darkness.
God.
For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power, the Most High, have I leaped over a wall.
You hear that? By his power, he's able to leap over that wall. Go ahead.
Verse 30. As for the Most High, his way is perfect. The word of the Most High is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. For who is the Most High save the Lord? And who is a rock save our power, the Most High? It is the Most High that girded me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds feet and setteth me upon my high places. Verse 34, he teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by my arms.
Ready?
Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holded me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet.
This is why we shouldn't fear, y'all. If we keep the Most High's commandments, he can make us invincible and protect us in the time of need.
We read that last night.
Come on, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's that easy. It says, the question is, why are they choosing to make metallic bodies for these robots to come after the children of Israel? Why would they be doing that? Let's see what the script says. Let's go back to Joshua. Joshua 17 and 15.
All right. We're at the book of Joshua, chapter 17, starting at verse 15, reading down to 18.
And I wanted might not go into it, but my brother brought forth a lesson last night when it was and he touched when David and Goliath, okay, and it was telling them to fear not, and just that by that alone, that'll show us not that we don't have anything to fear if we trust in the Most High, that we can knock down giants. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go. I want y'all to remember that while we read this. Go ahead on.
The book of Joshua, chapter 17, verse 15 reads, and Joshua answered them, if thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee.
So they was doing what? They was getting ready to do what? They was preparing for war against who? Let's go.
Verse 16. And the children of Joseph, the hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are of Bethshean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, thou art a great people, and hath great power. Thou shalt not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be thine, for it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the outgoings of it shall be thine. For thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong.
And see what I brought that and went back out with that David and Goliath for, because like we said, when he trusted in the Most High was there for him, and it was that, and that was all done for the will of the Most High. It was just pretty much after he knocked down Goliath, the rest of them was like, you know what, we don't want no problems.
Don't want no smoke.
We cool. All right. When we are in line with the will of the Most High and went up against giants, even their iron chariots couldn't even stop us, y'all. There was one time, however, when we rebelled and that opposite thing happened. Let's look at that.
We rebelled.
Come on. Let's go to Judges 4 and 1. Let's see what happened when we rebelled. And then you're all, why the Father ain't there for me? I've been praying. Let's see what happened.
The book of Judges, chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. All right. The book of Judges, chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. All right. Judges 4 and 1 reads, and the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. And the Lord sold them unto the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. Okay, verse 3. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
So as you can see, all it took was our people being rebellious, and all that power to tread down the serpents was removed from us, so those iron chariots overtook us. These inventions behind the scenes, contacting these spirits and making weapons, are aware of this fact. The government of this world then have us sin by tempting us through all types of manners of well-funded, lustful-filled media, as we follow the same fate that our ending that our forefathers did. So it's up to this world to cause us to rebel, to stay in our wickedness, to keep on feeding our flesh, making them think it's all right and we don't need God. We can treat anybody how we want to treat them. We can do what you want to do you. The government has that against you because they know if you're not being obedient to your power, then they can take you down easy. They don't want you to be powerful. Think about it. It's a book out there called The Art of War. And it talks about these things, about how you make, when your opponent is weak, sometimes you have to weaken your opponent in order to attack them. If this is a war, and it said it's not, and we wrestle against not flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities, they got to get your spirit man so weak that they can just come and destroy you just like that. And the best thing to do is have you destroy yourself. Yep. That's what they're trying to do. All right, let's go to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras 16 and 4.
14.
16 and 14, Salakia.
This is a quick lesson.
They ain't put a whole lot of scriptures in this. 16, chapter 16, verses 14, reading all the way down to 20. All right? The book of 2nd Esdras, and your red book Apocrypha. All right? 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, starting at verse 14, reading all the way down to verse 20. Calm when you got it. All right? 16, verse 14 reads, Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again. So they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till they consume the foundation of the earth, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
So you're saying that the plagues that are sent upon the earth should not return again. So it will be plagues and destruction sent to the earth. Go ahead.
All right. Verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
You see that? We see that in what? Puerto Rico? Where else we seeing all this famine and stuff at?
Haiti.
Death. We seeing all of this. Go ahead. The beginning. That's what it said, the beginning, huh?
The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Mm-hmm. The beginning of evils. What shall they do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
Just like we read earlier, these spirits being released have scourges, i.e. like whips and stuff like that, to afflict the wicked.
God.
And we are in the time that is more wicked than any time in history, y'all. These scourges come forth in the physical, in all manners of war and plagues and everything. It is one reason why we must be on guard against sin and all other manners of foolishness. We got to start calling it out. We got to start making people see themselves, to understand that you cry loud, spare not. Isn't that what he said? that starts with us as well too. Let the people know. Let our brothers and sisters know that we save and we helping each other. We supposed to be saving each other, kind. And let's go ahead and go to 1 Thessalonians 5:5.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, starting at verse 5, reading all the way down to 15. First Thessalonians, chapter 5, starting at verse 5, reading down to 15. All right? 1 Thessalonians 5:5 reads, Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
It's talking to you, children of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
And it called us the children of what? Light. Go ahead.
Verse 8. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith.
Having faith in the Most High. Go ahead.
And love.
Doing that love that he told us to love the Lord thy God with all our heart. Love your neighbors, which is your brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
The hope of salvation, knowing that our Savior is coming back. Huh? Go ahead.
For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Redeemer, Hamashiach Yeshua, who died for us, that, whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together.
Comfort yourselves together. Come together. Have comfort with yourselves together. What else?
And edify one another.
Edifying one another. Go ahead.
Even as also ye do. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you.
To know them that labor amongst you. Just like we was doing, we had the brothers lock in. To know them who labor amongst you. I know how my brother operates. Go ahead.
And are over you in the Lord. And admonished you. And to esteem them very highly.
And esteem them very highly. Oh, that's my brother. Oh, that's my sister right there. Go ahead.
And love for their works' sake. And be at peace among yourselves.
Keep going.
Exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. Comfort the feeble-minded. Support the weak. Be patient toward all men. See that none render evil for evil.
See that none render evil for evil.
Unto any man.
Unto any man.
But ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men.
It's simple. Keep safe. Keep the commandments and live. Rebel and be judged by the plagues that's going to come upon the wicked. Even after their death, they shall find no peace, these wicked. All right? Live in the light and walk away from that darkness, so we shall see the kingdom again, and we shall come and live in its eternal light. Huh?
You gotta be doers of the word.